Hi, everyone. Thank you to having me. It's a pleasure to be here and to talk more about our experience. That is part of a journey. So please, next slide. Uh, First, I want to mention that Vale is a mining company. They are distributed all over the world, but it's important to say that 80% of our operational impact, operations and impacts are in Amazon and Atlantic Forest here in Brazil. So areas with high biodiversity values that imply in more risks related to nature too. So next one, please. And I want to share with you part of our journey. I will not tell about all the steps, the important steps that we pass, but I think it's important to say that we start to think about how we interact with nature, how we impact nature when we start to report GRI. So reporting, it's an important part of the thing because it's not just tell a story to outside of the company, but it's how you try to understand your business to report, how you are managing your business to report. So in 2007, we start to report the GRI indicators for biodiversity about impact and management that help us a lot to understand better how our business are starting to integrate with nature. And since then, we are trying to uh, uh, understand different methodologies, different kind of options of approach to understand how nature is embedding our business. And in 2015, we understand that we have to establish a systematic way to understand where are our operations and where are the new projects that we want to explore. Why that? Why we have to locate our projects and operations to try to understand the biodiversity risks, the sensibility of the sites and the operations, to understand the biodiversity risks for the projects and for our operations, the continuity of our operations. And why I say to the risks to the project and the risks to our operations, because if you have a risk for biodiversity, if you have an endemic species, a critical habitat, you have risks for these biodiversity feeders, but you also has risks to implement your project, more difficult to implement your project, to license your project. So it's very important to understand where you are. So we create a methodology with the internal experts, with the help of some external experts too, when we start to using different layers of GIS tools to understand if we have some in the location where we are operating, or we intend to implement a project, we have some protected areas, we have some key biodiversity areas, we have some areas for important species or for critical species. So we are trying to understand this place, to understand how we can manage our project, how we can manage our strategy to reduce our risks regarding biodiversity. Uh, and I think it's very important to say that this methodology, it's the beginning of the locate phase of the TNFD approach that we use today. There is very close related. So next, please. So one of the parts of this journey, it's the review of our nature strategy, that in 2022 we understand that our biodiversity strategy needs to be more bold, needs to be more integrated with climate, with water, with people. So we create a internal group to discuss how we can improve our strategy, and we understand that we have to build collectively this strategy, this new strategy, and thinking biodiversity as a, a base for this approach, but needs to integrate with the other strategies in the company. We need to understand how biodiversity is integrated with climate. We need to learn how climate, because climate is a more mature theme, how water it's working inside the company, what is the strategy for water, for people, and try to connect all these strategies to create a new big ambition for nature with different kind of objectives related to governance, to strengthen our management, to promote a legacy a positive legacy in restoration and conservation, to invest in innovation and disseminate this knowledge and try to influence different kind of external agendas. So next, please, based on this strategy, we start to understand better where we are. Our case study is based in Carajás. Carajás it's a region inside the Pará state in Brazil, in Amazon, in the middle of Amazon. When we find the reserves here in red, you can see our operations. In green, it's all the forest area that we have today, and the evolution of deforestation in the Itacaiunas Basin River. Uh, in this area, we produce 60% of our iron ore products, okay? And we occupy just 3% of the forest area that we have here. And it's important to say that this, in black, you have the limits of some protected areas that Vale helps to create in this region. Together with when the mining was born, we decide that we have to create an area to help to protect the forest and help to protect the ecosystem services that is very important for our business. Next, please. In this region, in the south region of this map, there is here, we have S11D project. There is a S11D Eliezer Batista complex. There are maybe the biggest iron ore mine in the world. And it's important to say that when this is not the first project that we work together to try to understand the location, but is the most important project because we have to connect all different areas of the company, and this is one of the big challenges. But we was able to put in the same room the engineers, the geotechnologists, the guys from risks, the guys from environment, of course, water, climate, people, and different kind of teams, and not just Vale team, but we are able to discuss together with the environmental agencies what is the best strategy to implement this project in an area that is a key biodiversity area that has that are inside a protected area, that there is an area with a lot of different species, threatened species. So with this, we are able to change the project. The figure in your right of the screen, the first picture, it's the first layout of the project, and in the other is the project today. We are able in these discussions to move the stockpiles for outside the forest areas for a more degraded area, and the industrial part of the project. And with this, we are able to avoid more than 1,000 hectares of deforestation. So this is one of the importance of work together, one of the biggest challenge, but it's so important to work together. And for put all these people in the same room, we have to connect the language. We have to speak the same language. It's not just to say, this is an important area, you have to reduce the impacts. No, you have to say to the project guys who is planning the project, why it's so important for the business, because of if you avoid 1,000 hectares of deforestation, you are avoiding risks for the project, for the license process. You are avoiding costs for the project. So this is a very important thing that you have to try to figure out how to solve in your teams, the language and the importance that you have in the area. The next one, please. This is more results about the S11D, and we avoid not just the deforestation, but we avoid to the emissions of green gas emissions, the consumption of water, we are able to reuse the water capture, and we are able to planning a strategy to recover the area outside the protected area to create more forest areas. And with this, we are able to see that we have the opportunity to be net positive to forest habitats in this project. And also the next picture, the next slide, please. We are able to bring the scientific knowledge to confirm that these areas that we are restorating has the same value. We are trying to deliver the same value that the areas that we are deforesting. So this is a result of one of the research that we conduct in these areas. And here you can see the jaguar. There is an important species, threatened species. There is a register in the areas, the new areas that are being created, being restored. And we are able to understand with the biotic value, that is a metric that we create together with the scientists create together with Vale's team, to understand that when we balance, put the vegetation in the balance, we have areas with more quality and areas with more vegetation than when we start a project. So the next, please. I think I finished here. It's very quick, but thank you very much, and we will have the opportunity to talk in the groups.